My name's Andrew Kitzman. Most folks just call me by my last name, Kitzman. I grew up here in Minnesota, born and raised actually, but I wasn't always the greatest kid. In fact, most times I did the opposite of what I was told to do. True story about me, was told don't throw those spray paint cans in the fireplace, and guess exactly where those spray paint cans went. Yeah, boom. So I ended up joining the Army as a means of kind of just getting out of the house, getting some food, getting a place to live, that type of thing. And they really turned me around. I grew up in a hurry. I really learned my lessons. I learned honor, respect, integrity, all of that stuff. Came out a different person. At one point in there, I found time to get married, had a kid, and after I got out of the military, I asked my wife, where do you want to move? Because you've been moving around with me. And she decided she wanted to go to Lakeport, California. Now, I didn't know it at the time, but I hate Lakeport, California. I did like my job there. See, I was a surveillance observer in a casino, which was great. And I worked my way up from surveillance observer to manager of the department. But every day I was there, I saw crime, I saw drugs, and I knew that was not the kind of place I wanted to raise my kid in. So I told my wife one night, when I turn 28, I'm moving back to Minnesota. I'm out of here. You can come with me or you can stay. Admittedly a jerk move, but she decided to come with, so it worked out all right. Moved to Big Lake, Minnesota. I actually got set up in a house, got a job at the nuclear power plant. Life was going great. I was set till I got laid off. Kind of leads me to where I'm at right now, which is in school, learning to do something different. Now, when I was a kid, there was one thing I would listen to people about, and that was trap shooting. I loved it. I was great at it. I worked hard at it. On Wednesdays, I'd work at the gun club so I could make money to shoot on Thursdays. It was kind of my thing. I had multiple zone championships, state championships. I competed on the national level a couple of times, all state teams constantly. It was great. But these days, I don't have the money or the time for that kind of a hobby. Instead, I'm more into motorcycles. I ride them occasionally. I work on them way too much. But that's just how it goes. I also enjoy fishing. I got into fly fishing last year for the first time. Meager success, but it's fun. It's something new. Mostly these days, though, I just lay around the house, get yelled at by my wife a lot, and fix the things that constantly break. I'd say maybe a little bit too lazy for a bucket list. Say short-term goals right now would just be finish school, get a job, maybe good grades while I'm in school. One day I think I'd really like to ride my motorcycle up to Alaska. I just made that trip in a truck, and it was a long trip, so I know exactly how difficult it would be on a motorcycle. See, right now, a really short-term goal, I'd settle for just one of my vehicles not breaking in any given week. That'd be great. So one of the toughest lessons that I learned in life, I learned from the Army, and that is that I am not special. Nobody is special, no matter how much your mommies and daddies tell you that you are. You get hit by a bullet, you bleed just the same as anybody else. And so these days, I don't view myself as different from anybody else, although I do try to take care of my family. My family is what's special to me. That being said, to you maybe, there's really nothing special that sets my family apart from anybody else's. We just kind of mind our own business, we stay to our own. If I had to pick one thing and really put my finger on it, I'd say that we have a lot of animals. We just have a regular yard, regular house, but we have 3 chickens, 2 dogs, 2 rabbits, a dove, a bird, and a cat. That's just all in our house. A lot of work. The person that I really admire in my life is my grandfather. Now, this guy had a goal. When he got out of the Army, down in Panama he was stationed, he decided he was going to drive his little 2-cylinder car all the way from Panama to Alaska. And he made it all the way from Panama to Minnesota, where he took a small break, just a little one, to get married and have 5 kids and buy a house and keep his farm going and start a business and all of that. But in 1995, he did jump in his little white van and finish his trip. He likes to joke that in the 30 years it took him, he could have walked there, and, maybe. But still, he had that dedication to follow through with his goal, and he finally did get there. And every year, well, not every year, every other year during the summers, he's made that trip again. Something I really admire about him. 5 years from now, I don't know, I guess I'd like to be employed. That'd be really nice. Wouldn't mind if my wife and my kids stuck around, I guess. And let's see, a really long-term goal. I mean, long-term. I'd like to see my kid get into the NFL. Maybe play for the Minnesota Vikings, make millions of dollars and support me and the wife. That'd be great. I think that's a good, solid, long-term goal. But, yeah, so that's me in a nutshell. And if you're wondering about the audience, let me just grab my little microphone here and I'll turn it around and holy smokes. Got my boy Caleb right there, and A bunch of my other classmates